Okay, we are live with Donald for the fourth episode of People and Planets. So, Donald, I'm going to share my screen with you and we're going to get started. Can you see my screen? Can you see the chart?
Yes, I can.
Oh, all right, very good. So, when is your birthday?
My birthday, August 25th of 1996,
Okay, what time?
4:35 a.m. the morning
Mm-hmm. And where?
in Neptune Township, New Jersey, United States. United States. Sorry.
Hmm. They don't have maybe Neptune? Is it in Monmouth?
Yes, Monmouth County. Yep.
Okay, good.
Because sometimes
All
they'll
right.
say like Neptune City and stuff, but it's two separate towns actually. But
Okay. Well, your moon is conjunct Neptune. That's the first thing that comes up from you. So you live
Mhm.
in Neptune. 11 degrees Leo rising. Is right? Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, Donald. So, yeah, just tell us a bit about yourself. What's going on now, lately?
As of right now, actually, since this is like stuff that just happened this week. I actually just got hired for a new job yesterday after off and on about 6 years of unemployment. So that's a new start for me. And actually, on the 3rd of April, well, actually Friday, I'm having dental surgery too. So I'll be out of commission for another 1 to 2 months because this is my third extraction since last September of last year. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Uh,
also, well, one more thing from my living situation, I guess. I'm actually moving to California in June, so that's also something to look forward to.
Moving to California in June.
hmm
Okay. Well, why? What's in California?
I'm in a relationship actually, so my partner's in California.
So you're moving out to be with them.
Yes.
Hmm. That's interesting. How long have you known each other?
We actually were old friends. We met in 2022. Then we kind of lost touch for a few years and then we reconnected in 2024 ish around that time. And then we started dating in September of 2025. So, because I know right now it's the 1st of April, actually. So, yeah. So, coming up
That's interesting
on,
because
yeah.
you also had your first extraction in September.
Yes.
So you started dating them in September and you also had your first tooth extraction in a series of three, and you're about to have your fourth. Is that right?
No, this is the third. This is the third.
This is the third.
Yeah,
Okay.
for Friday.
Okay, so you had extensive tooth repairing done, I guess, tooth surgery.
Yes.
Is that
Well, no,
okay?
not repairing. They were removing teeth because the first one was for my wisdom teeth. They removed, I believe, three wisdom teeth, and then they had my dentist said after when I came back, um, a little while later. I think it was a week or two after. He had said that, oh, I have to clean your teeth on the side, but you have an extra tooth on the side. And it was interesting because when I was a child, actually, I think I was around 9 years old. And when I was nine, my original dentist had said that they could not qualify me for braces because of the extra tooth. And now it's kind of funny because it's 2026, and now I'm 29 years old, and I'm about to be 30, and they're telling me the same thing that I was told 20 years ago. So I finally managed to get that extra tooth removed. That was for the second extraction in, I believe, November. So that was November. So now I got all that done because that took me 2 months to recover from. And now I have this new one, this third one. Hopefully, this the last one. I have two more teeth pulled on Friday. But because I hope it's better than last time, because last time it was the worst pain I ever had. Because and it's funny because I was hurt so bad. I asked my mom. I said, which one's worse, childbirth or a tooth extraction? She said, oh, I remember I got my tooth extracted. It was, she said, I only had one a year or two ago. But, well, she said she didn't know when she had it pulled when she was younger. But
So
my mom was born in
did you have
63. So,
bad teeth all your life?
yeah, all my life. Yeah. I'm just starting to get um, better with it now. So I'm just really
Okay,
hoping that,
that's interesting. That is coming up for
yeah,
me pretty strongly in your chart. So let's just
really.
talk about the teeth for a moment. Yeah. What, well, how does that affect you that you don't have good teeth? I guess you don't have a great smile. Were you nervous to talk, therefore?
Actually did have a good smile until a couple years ago. I had a chipped tooth a few years back that because I think I was eating or something, and my half my tooth chipped in half and fell out. So now, like, if you look at my tooth, I actually have half a chipped tooth in the front. So
Yeah.
because actually I had gotten it filled a few months ago, but I got it filled 3 times in a month, and every time the fillings kept coming back out after 7 days. So it's been a nightmare. It's been a nightmare. So
Okay. I'm not understanding it too well yet because I don't know too much, right? Because you've lived with your teeth, so you know the situation, what the nightmare
true,
means.
true, yeah.
Um, why a nightmare? What's wrong with this? Can you help me understand?
Well, just my whole process in general because it was like it came out of nowhere because I'll tell you how it started actually. I actually hadn't been to the dentist since I was like 16 or 17. So just last year, I think it was around July or August or something. And it was a Sunday night at midnight. And I had the worst pain on the like left side of my mouth that you could ever picture in your life. And this is all at midnight, right? Now I'm in a small town. There's like maybe one or two emergency dentists off call that you could really pick up and call. But it's Sunday night, midnight, they're asleep. So I think, yeah, I still had to wait till I think Wednesday. I think I had to wait until either Wednesday or Friday so we could see the dentist. Yeah, it was Friday. I had to wait till Friday. And then that Friday, I went around calling dentists. We couldn't find any. Then we went and drove around like to multiple towns around my area trying to see if I could find a dentist, but that ended up being a nightmare. So I did end up because I was with my mom. My mom and I were arguing back and forth because she started yelling at me. I took 2 days off work to and it was a whole thing. But we eventually did find a dentist, so that was pretty much how it started. Then to get me in the door, I had to get my first appointment. And then I think after my first three, I think after the third appointment was when my dentist said, okay, we need to do your extraction. So because that was after the wisdom teeth, thankfully. But Yeah, it's been a it's been a catastrophe, but it's like just now starting to get better. So I'm like, I really hope because this week alone, I had a job offer yesterday, but it feels like it's at the worst timing for me because I'm like, in 3 days, I have surgery. So last time for my last extraction, I had to basically do nothing for 2 months because I was at home. I couldn't do anything for 2 months. So now I'm like, okay.
Okay, so you're nervous that maybe you're not gonna get the job or what?
Well, I have the job, but I told them that I'll be able to work until till Thursday, this coming Thursday, and then anything else I'll have to wait until after my surgery to let them know
Okay,
if I can
I
continue.
see.
Yeah, yeah, because they
Okay.
said to me when they hired me, they said we give like medical and stuff like that.
Uh-huh. That
But
was
then I
important for you, I
also
guess.
Yeah, but then I also felt, like I just started yesterday and I don't want to, take them for granted and stuff. But it was bound to happen whether I was working or not. So, you know.
Okay, as far as your teeth go, it's a little hard for me to understand because I'm not too like dentistry itself and all like everything around that for me is kind of new. But what really stands out to me is that this is all happening during your Saturn return. Saturn entered Aries for the first time, I think last June, and he stayed there for the summer. And so that this whole process began for you last summer with the pain and with contacting the dentist and getting an appointment, making sure you get all your teeth out, taking care of that. It really makes me think about your Saturn return. Also, because this week, actually in a few days, is when you have your exact Saturn return, right? Saturn will be at 6 degrees in transit. You have Saturn natally at 6 degrees.
What day is
So,
it actually?
let me just check. So 6/16, 6/14 on Monday.
Oh, next Monday?
Next Monday. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
But I mean, you can
interesting.
see like this week as well is basically the week of your Saturn return, like the maximum, right? Because Saturn will not return to 6 degrees again. He's going to linger in that area for the rest of the year, but he's not
Okay.
going to come back to 6 degrees. So that makes me think about a few things. One of them is that you're getting all of your teeth done now, officially.
hmm
And the second one is that you've finally gotten a job after 6 years of unemployment. Because when you get a job, first of all,
Another
you have to go ahead.
Another thing too I find interesting because you said Saturn return is, well, from my understanding of it, is like it starts when you're 27, right? 27 years old.
Yeah, okay.
Because actually, I'm 29 right now. So how would that kind of work into my? Because I moved out actually for the first time at 27, too. So it's like everything's happening like during my Saturn return. It feels like.
Yeah, I would say that's right because your Saturn return is when you start to be an adult and therefore meet the world as an adult rather than as a child. So you lose some of the protections of your family and you start to be more of an independent agent. So it's a very grounding transit. It transitions you from childhood to adulthood in full, right? So moving out is one such event. Therefore, you could give that to your Saturn return. Still, I think it's about different transits. So for me, the Saturn return is more like at 29. That's when you experience the peak of it. But of course,
Wow.
visually, you're in your Saturn return for like 3 or 4 years. But still, this is the year, right? And so that's the beginning of a new cycle, a 30-year cycle, and the end of the previous 30-year cycle, the one you've lived up until now. So that makes me think about your teeth, what we've learned about and talked about so far, and also your new job. And that is actually what I'd like to know more about. What is this new job?
Hmm. Well, because they told me the title, but I think because actually forgot the title. It's more based around, to me, it's more marketing, like marketing and sales based because it's not technically a sales job, but I would consider like a mix of both marketing and sales.
What do you
But it's
do?
more because it's more like branding. Like we help, um, like in the social media space, we help influencers like with their branding and with their engagement, and it's all marketing, sales stuff, basically. So I'm more behind the scenes with
Doing
promoting
what?
them and stuff. More with like helping promote their content through, brand engagement and different things like that. It's that's the just the short version.
Yeah, but you see, I don't really get it. Can you just give an example? Maybe just talk about a real situation, something you've worked on yesterday.
Well, basically, because this is just the way that they explained it to me. They're saying how, okay, we're going to send you 10 different tasks. If you do those 10 tasks in training, then every um, group of tasks you do, you get $10 per completed task. So that's basically like what it would entail for training, because I'm still in training. And then they said after you sign your contract with us after the first 3 days, da, 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 then you get a signing bonus, and then you get I think they said $7,000 a month salary. So,
What? That's a
but
lot.
that would yeah, but that's a huge jump for me. But yeah, so I'm still trying to get used to it now because yeah, it's like my life is just picking up, zoom, zoom, zoom. I went from like, because I wish there's certain moments in my life where I wish I had a camera so people could like document this stuff. But my life went from even just from like 2 years ago, my life went from I don't know, like even in 2023, my life went from I don't know where my next meal and paycheck are coming from just 2 years ago to now I'm making 7,000 a month. Like it feels unreal. It's like, you blink your eyes and it's all there.
But you
It's
haven't
just
received your first paycheck yet.
yeah, but still it's just I'm saying in terms of like how quickly everything's moving, in my life
Okay.
right now. That's just it's kind of like still even for me, yeah, I'm like, really? Is this all? So it's
Okay, that
taking me
makes
some
me think
time.
about the Saturn and Aries. Again, it makes me
Oh,
think about your Saturn return. Because Aries is like the one to move very quickly, and the one to take action. And
hmm.
Saturn makes me think about that limiting force that stops you, prevents you from doing something even for 6 years, because you said you were unemployed for 6 years. And now
Yes,
that there's the
yes.
Saturn return happening, I feel how the unemployment spell is over. The other thing that stands out to me is the Pluto transit through your sixth house. And you can see Pluto's now at 5 degrees Aquarius. So in the previous years, he would have conjoined your Uranus and also your Neptune. Now, we haven't talked at all about your previous years, but this part that you said you were unemployed for 6 years makes me think about Pluto transiting your sixth. So,
Interesting.
yeah. Why was it that you were unemployed for that long? What was the situation?
Well, I really honestly, I just don't know. I mean, I did everything I could. I sent close to 1,500 job applications. And it was like the only jobs that would hire me were like temp jobs or like, the day jobs. Like, I got one job actually not far from where I live right now. And I lived out of town before I moved here. But when I was living in the Freehold, where I used to live, um, I had a temp job, like a 2-day job, working as a referee and like a scorekeeper for this youth sports organization. And it was interesting because, I walk in, da, 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 looking forward to whatever was going to happen. And actually, the interesting part for me was that the second day of the job, because it was 2 days, was my birthday, actually. So I did my job the first day because that was, I think it was from like 9 to 4:30 or something. That's why, and he paid me under the table. My boss did. So he paid. because it was $60 total. So he paid $30 the first day. So then I came to work the second day, which was my birthday, was August the 25th of 2000 and I believe 22. So I came to work the second day and I sat at the bleachers because I thought it was odd that no one was talking to me. It's kind of weird because I was supposed to start at 12 o'clock. So I came in at 11:30 and then I'm sitting at the bleachers like, okay, just twiddling my thumbs and we're passing time. Then across the room, I hear my boss yell, "He blew up my phone. Stop blowing up my phone." I'm like, okay, you're weird. So then I sat for another hour and then I was just so bored. I called my mom and my cousin to pick me up and they came and got me. And then my cousin, who's a Gemini, who wants to, make all the decisions in the family, she said to me, "Oh, you're not sitting at home. You're coming with us." And then we ended up going to the beach. And then actually that was how I got a mediumship reading from a medium. It was on my birthday because it was funny because the medium actually told me during the reading, she said they because she looked at my mom, my cousin, she said they're disrupting my reading because my mom and my cousin were like two steps away, like laughing and giggling. So that was an interesting day.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause and
Well, it was your
actually I've
birthday.
had because hmm?
Go ahead.
Yeah, actually I've had close to I'd say about 15 or so mediumship readings, but I haven't had as many astrology readings. But it's interesting. But what was your question
Mhm.
before?
Um, I forget already. Oh yeah, it was about you having your solar return on that day. So when you're having your solar return, your birthday, obviously the transiting sun is conjunct your natal sun. So you end up being the center of attention, right? This is when
Mm,
usually people have birthday parties and everyone comes and say, "Oh, look how great you are. We love you. We celebrate you. We wish you all the good people are writing you,"
yeah.
right? So there's the solar return. So in the same way, right? So it's not that surprising that such things happen, that you put you at the center of attention on your birthday. Like, of
Yeah,
course,
that was
not
my
going to
26th
the gym.
birthday too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but so you put in 1,500 applications, you said, and there
You
was
went in and out, say it again.
nothing coming after all those
Wait, you're
applications,
going in and out. One second.
except for the part-time jobs. Did I understand
I did.
correctly?
Yes, but there's an audio issue. You're going in and out. I figure maybe if I turn the video off, maybe it'll help things a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but like every fourth or fifth word, you're kind of going out a little bit.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay, good, because I can hear you now as well. Okay, so we're back, right? Can you see my screen
okay.
again?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So you were unemployed for 6 years. You said you don't really know why. You sent over 1,500 applications. The only places you were accepted were places you had part-time jobs, so little pocket money, but nothing serious. Did I understand correctly?
Yeah, like temp agencies. Yeah, like temp agencies, day jobs, things like that.
Okay. So your employment has been kind of a mess for the previous years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But why?
I honestly don't know. I really don't. Like it's just starting to improve like now around this
So
time.
what
So
did you do instead during the daytime? If you're not at work, where are you?
well, I guess I could say more for before because I'm more because also on the side I'm more creative. Like I write music and songs and things like that. So I also would
Uh-huh.
do that. And I also tried to balance my 9 to 5 at the same time. So it was like it got to a point where it was not feasible. So that was around the time I moved out. So
I didn't
now
get it.
it's just
So you did have a 9 to 5, but you were also writing music, and you couldn't focus on the music maybe because you had to work? Is Can you help me understand?
well, it wasn't feasible mentally, like I because I was so frustrated with getting the rejections and things. And I figured like, okay, maybe, if I have a change of scenery or, if I try to figure something else out, it would my situation might improve. So that was when I moved out. And when I moved out, because I was 27, by the way, I moved in the middle of winter, 2023. I had $3 to my name, so that was also like a fear of mine, like, not having any money. Who am I gonna, rely on and stuff? But I did I actually stayed in a hotel first for 30 days. And then from the hotel, I went to a family member's boarding house and I stayed there for, I believe, another 30 days until the 24th of February in 2024, which also happened to be my mom's 16th year anniversary of her passing. So it was kind of sentimental for me too. So 'cause she was a major, major influence in my life. So
Uh-huh.
it's all kind of like I look at my life like in patterns. So that's
Okay.
also part of it too.
So here's something that you told me that finally sticks out for me very easily, that you stayed in a hotel for 30 days and
Yeah.
that you also then stayed in a family's boarding house.
Yeah.
So what I hear is you were essentially homeless for a period, but you found a home in the hotel and also in the family boarding, but not in your, it's kind of like you're an outsider visiting.
Yes. Yes. For 2 months. Yep. And then I
Okay.
moved from the boarding house to my apartment now where I've been for 2 years now.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that part makes me think about your Venus and Mars conjunction in Cancer in the 12th house, that you were looking for housing just in different places, but not at home.
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay. It also makes me think about you're moving to California. When did you say you were moving to California?
In June of this
In,
year.
in June. Okay. Mm-hmm. Early June?
I actually don't have a date picked yet. I just because I still have to renew my driver's license. So because I was told that if you move before you renew your license, you're committing a crime. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going to stay, renew my license, and
Uh-huh.
so
Okay, I
I
get
have
it
to.
now.
Yeah, I have to renew my license,
Uh-huh.
and
Okay, there's a
and yeah, I'm so glad I did my real ID because that was a whole process. It's like everything is just a whole a process before. the sun comes out, so to speak.
Okay. So here is something else that sticks out for me. Um,
Hmm.
it's about your Mercury Saturn opposition. So I've heard it many times in our call already. I'll start with the first one. It's about getting submitting 1,500 applications. So obviously, when you do that, you have to write each one individually and figure
Yes,
out where to submit them and send them through and do all of the criteria they're asking for and fill out their quizzes and do their interviews and do all the right. So it's a lot of kind of boring, monotonous application mental work. Would you agree?
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, and you went not through one or two or 10 or 20, you did 1,500. Actually, that's a lot. Did I
Yeah.
understand correctly?
Yes, absolutely. You did.
Okay, so here you can see your Mercury Saturn opposition,
Okay.
right? Because think about it. Mercury is submitting an application because it's in Virgo, it's words, it's something that you're writing, and Saturn is the constant rejection. No, we don't want you. No, we're not looking for you. Sorry, right? So getting rejection letters again and again. And you can think about this also, it's about your driver's license because the third house is the house of driving, right? Short trips. And when
Hmm.
it's Mercury, it's about documents, therefore identity documents. So getting the driver's license. But very importantly, that currently you're in your Saturn return opposing Mercury. And so what's the situation now? Well, you have to renew your license before you move, right? So that's Saturn, because
Hmm.
Saturn establishes the rules and the laws. And he says it's illegal if you don't renew your license before you move. So that's
Yep.
kind of one of the things that's on your mind now. Even if we remove Mercury from the equation and just focus on Saturn, your Saturn sits in Aries, and Aries is about movement, movement like the car. So Saturn and Aries getting your driver's license and making sure you're driving legally. Does that all make sense?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Um, Obviously, because this is happening in the third and ninth houses, schooling should be important. What can you say about that?
Well, actually, it's interesting you said that because I I tend to balance 6 or 7 things simultaneously, and then when that all that gets done, then I move on to another 6 or 7 things. Like, I'm a bit of a, polymath, like, I do a lot at one time and see what sticks and see what doesn't. But one of those things, because even during all the job application and stuff like that, I also decided last year, and I think the date was July 11th of last year, I had decided to go back to school. And right now, I am majoring in journalism. So it's a,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so you're in school now.
yep,
Okay, obviously it took you a little bit longer because you're 29. Usually people go when they're like 19.
definitely, definitely.
O- Okay, so you had some delay.
Yeah, I
Or you
did.
didn't want to go to school, you didn't know what you studied, or you studied and you didn't like it, or what happened?
Well, I didn't want to go at first, but I don't know. I just had a change of heart last year. I just decided to go for it.
Okay. Okay. So notice that last year is when Saturn first entered Aries. It was in
Hmm.
July.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Right. And so it's your Saturn return in the ninth house. Yeah. So you didn't want to go to school initially, but eventually you had a change of heart right when Saturn entered Aries and you began your Saturn return. And now you're in school studying.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's the Saturn return in the ninth. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess that's a big priority for you now to make sure you get that completed.
Oh,
Maybe it's a lot of work
definitely,
as well, like a
definitely.
lot of
Because,
homework.
yeah, and actually, I'm behind on my schoolwork, so I got to really get ahead of that. Because I'm hopefully graduating in July. So, yeah, I gotta get a head start on that work because I've been falling behind. So,
Okay, good. There you can see again your Saturn return in the ninth house opposite Mercury. You've fallen behind on your work, and now you got to get it together. Yeah, the
you know,
Saturn energy that is tight and performative. Okay. The other part, where you said that you tend to juggle 6 or 7 things at once. So that to me sounds like somebody whose nervous system is pretty busy. So it's not like you're very restful. You're pretty mentally active. Is that right?
Oh, 1,000%. Absolutely.
O-
I'm
Okay, so
always
not
doing something.
okay, so there's again the Mercury Saturn opposition. Like your mind doesn't rest, it's always doing something and it's juggling multiple things even.
Always, always.
Okay. Can you give an example?
Actually, I would say right now, actually, too, it would be the best time because financially, that's the best example. Another thing that I do in my private time is genealogical research. So, on top of the job stuff and on top of the whole and top of college, everything with NYU, because I do an online course with NYU for the journalism. On top of both of those things and the music stuff and writing and stuff, then I also do my genealogical research. So I had actually just yesterday, my researcher friend in Bermuda, she sent me um, the second set of records for my research, which of course I've already spent 1,000, close to $2,000 now just on research since October of last year. But I had a cousin of mine in Bermuda, because my dad's from Bermuda, by the way. My mom's American. My cousin in Bermuda sent well, I paid him for some research stuff, but he ended up not delivering on his promise because he had gotten injured and he had went on a cruise to Puerto Rico and got injured. So he wasn't able to deliver on his promise. So I lost $300 there. So then I had to contact my current researcher friend, and I just had paid her the other. I paid I think 1,500 so far. So the other 1,200 went to her. So I should just got done paying her for the other research
Okay,
now.
this is
So it's like all at the same time.
okay, this interests me on several levels. Just help me
Okay.
understand. So this research, genealogical research, is that project especially active like in the past 8 months?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Still ongoing now, actually, because I have
Yes,
to get more stuff next week.
that's right.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to show you what's happening because that part at least is very clear.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So notice that you have Venus and Mars conjunct in the 12th house Cancer,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Cancer is the genealogy. When you look into your maternal, your paternal history, and you start to link together who was born when and all the ancestral lines, right? That's Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you yourself don't have the information. It's in Bermuda, which is
Yes.
a water
Yes.
place, isn't it? So there's more Cancer. But Bermuda's,
Really?
well, of course, and Bermuda's somewhere far away. It's not anywhere close to you. You don't have direct access to it, but that's where your
Right.
parents are from,
Yeah,
right?
my dad's from
There's the
Bermuda.
12th
Yeah.
house. There's the 12th house, right? You're looking for research on something you don't understand with documents that you don't have in your possession, something you have to trust other people in a very watery place to provide for
Yes.
you. And
Yes.
just notice that right now, transiting Jupiter is at 15 degrees of Cancer. Jupiter's been in Cancer for the past 8 months or so. So look, he's making an exact conjunction to your Venus and Mars ongoing currently, right? So if I go forward 1 month, you'll see Jupiter is at 18 Cancer. So you can see that literally right now, today, this period, this month, Jupiter is conjunct your Venus exact. Hence, there's a girl who is getting you lots of research and you're paying her plenty of money to get you stuff from far away to understand your genealogy, right?
Yep. And she's the
Does that make
second
sense?
person too. She's the second one.
Okay, because there was another
Hmm.
guy before that, right?
Yeah, my cousin. Yep. Because he's in
Okay,
Bermuda too.
so there's the Mars, right? There's Mars and Venus, so it's her and him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
Mm-hmm.
far away. They're in the 12th house. They're in Bermuda. You don't actually talk to them or have access to them. That's the 12th house.
Mm-hmm.
But again, keep in mind, he's your cousin. So there's
Yeah.
Mars in Cancer in the 12th house. There's a male that lives somewhere far away on an island,
Yeah.
Bermuda. Okay,
Oh
does
yeah.
that all make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Very good. Now, if I just go back to your chart by itself and I remove Venus and Mars for a moment, I'm going to go back to this opposition between Mercury and Saturn. So think about it again. You're paying lots of money for research, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing very careful research. So there's the third house and Virgo, right? Because Virgo gets all the different facts together, studies, learns. And there's the ninth house, right? That's not just like reading a children's book. You're doing something that requires kind of seriousness and focus. And you need to get official documents, right? There's red tape. It's not like you can have them just easily. So there's
Right.
Saturn, right? All the work you have to put in to get access to that information. Does that all make sense?
100%. It's a lot. It's a lot.
You can also think about this like you're studying journalism. So obviously there's a lot of writing involved. And it's not
Oh,
just
yes.
free form writing like in a diary. You have to go, investigate, research, get the facts, put them together, and present something that makes you look competent, right? That's journalism. So
Yep.
there is again the Mercury Saturn opposition, right? Working very carefully with information and also at a high level because journalism is not just diary, right? Journalism is something academic, ninth house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so does this make sense to you as well?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, very good. I'm also thinking about your moon now that is in Capricorn in the sixth house. Just from the sense that I get the feeling that even when you were not employed, you stayed very busy. So it seems like you're kind of always doing something. Is it that way?
Very, very true. Very true.
Okay. Okay, this also makes me think about your Moon Jupiter conjunction in Capricorn. Capricorn is an elderly person or people who are older, people who have more
Hmm.
experience. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And the moon, of course, is your family. And so the Moon Jupiter conjunction in Capricorn is your grandma on your mother's side that you said had a
Mm-hmm.
huge, huge influence on your life, right? Moon Jupiter.
Yes, she did. Absolutely.
Okay. Can you give an example of how?
Oh, there's so many. The shortest thing I could say, like the most concise, probably thing I could say is just like I get a lot of my wisdom and strength from her because, like, my grandma was a single mom at 17. And this was during segregation in America. She had my uncle at the turn of 1950, and then like at the end of that year, she moved from Georgia to New Jersey. So I mean, and then she ended up meeting my grandfather somewhere in that time, and then because he had fought in World War II and the Korean War, he was stationed in upstate New York. So, and then my great aunt eventually, like 9 or 10 years later, she ended up moving out there. So it's a whole thing, but that I guess they met somewhere in that time. So they ended up getting married in 1953, and then they had my aunt first in 54. Then they had my uncle in 55, and
Can
then
you
my
can you
mom
pause
in
for a moment?
63. Yeah.
Okay, there's one thing that really stands out to me in talking to you,
Hmm.
and that is that you remember dates, all of
Always,
them.
always. Yep, always.
What is that about? You're so date oriented. You're giving me the years, you're giving me exact dates,
Yeah.
going back years at a time. It's it's kind of I don't know how to describe it. It's just it's unusual.
I don't know. I actually don't know where it comes from.
Okay,
I just
I just
it's
figured it
muscle
out.
memory for me. It's muscle memory.
Okay, it's the Moon Jupiter conjunction in Capricorn.
Really?
Um, the moon is your memory. And anything that you remember, anything that you keep in your mind, anything that is in the background that you can pull up is the moon. It could also be Mercury, but in this case I'm going with the moon. Right. Also because your moon is all your family members, your grandma, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, your sisters, your mom, blah 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 blah, all the moon. And in this case, Jupiter is when you're highly, highly skilled in something. It comes naturally to you. You end up expanding in that just so easily. So if the moon is memory and Jupiter is expansion, there's having a tremendous memory, but the Capricorn part especially, because Capricorn has to do with time. So things that change over time was like this in the 50s and this in the 60s and like this in the 70s. So even in your music, you might keep in mind like the time period that you associate with that song you're writing.
Yeah, I actually, whenever I write songs, I write like the times and dates that I write them on at the top of the paper before I even write anything. I always do that.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep, all the time.
That makes me think that you're also very intuitively feeling what time it is during the day.
I would say so because uh, I had actually going along with the medium readings I had a reading and the medium said to me, she said, your ancestors actually are writing the songs for you. Like you don't have to actually think about what to say because they're like figuring it out for you, she said. So I don't know, maybe that has something to
Hmm.
do with it too. I don't know.
Okay, that makes me think. So I guess some of your music is about your family.
Some of it is, but just I write more about like my friends, my exes, just my life in general. You know, sometimes happy stuff, sometimes more morbid stuff, but it's kind of a mix of everything.
Okay. Let's get back to the writing in a moment. This opposition here between the moon in Capricorn and Venus in Cancer. This is where I feel how connected you are to your family. And not only that, but to the lost history. And that makes me think about the 12th house. Because you're talking about your aunts and uncles in the year they were born, the year your mom was born, when your grandparents were
Hmm.
born, what they were doing, which years they were. So I can tell that you've gone through really a lot of information about your family. That's
Yeah, I
what it
had
sounds like.
to. I had to because
Why?
even with my dad's side, because my dad's family is all in Bermuda. I never got to meet my dad's parents because they were both in Bermuda. But I got to meet my older half siblings because I'm the youngest of seven on his side. So I got to meet my oldest half sister, but we have a sibling rivalry because she's the oldest sibling. She's actually just turned 50 last year, and we always kind of never saw eye to eye. So and she's a Leo, by the way. But yeah, so she's the sibling I have the most friction with because when my dad moved to the States and married my mom, she felt left behind because she was 19, she had two children. So, but that caused a lot of issues in my older years. But basically, I talked to my second oldest half sister. We get along more, so we reconnected 10 years ago. So that's interesting too because they're 3 years apart.
Okay, so
So
you're very good with numbers as well, I hear.
yeah, yeah, I am. I am.
Okay, that makes me think about your Mercury in Virgo in the third house. Because all three are actually Mercurial, Mercury, Virgo, third house. That makes me think about the research that you do. It makes me think about all the writing that you do. I guess you study a lot, you read a lot.
Yes. Oh, even in my
You
private
know a
time,
lot.
I read a lot religiously. Definitely.
Okay. And I guess you read also hard material, books that for other people are harder to understand, maybe like philosophical literature.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. There's the opposition to Saturn in the ninth, like reading a lot constantly and difficult things and staying informed. Yeah. Maybe you'd also be
Actually, yeah.
interested.
One of those things I read is I don't know if you know the like because I'm into history. I don't know if you know the Byzantine Empire.
Okay.
They have. I
Yes.
I remember, and actually, this goes to my genealogical research. I actually have because both my parents are from royal bloodline, sorry, and one of, well, I would say both my parents' ancestors at this point is Anna Komnene. She was one of the Byzantine emperor's daughter. She wrote that memoir about her father. I think it's called the Alexiad. I have, oh, well, on my laptop before my laptop died, I had a copy, like a digital copy of the Alexiad on my laptop, and I used to read it every now and then. Very good book.
Alexiad.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the
Okay,
Alexiad.
so just notice again, Mercury opposite Saturn in the third and ninth houses, and you're studying history.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
definitely. All the
pretty
time.
much like you're very, and also that you're interested in the Byzantine Empire, right? So immediately when I hear empire, I feel Aries, emperor energy,
Interesting.
right? So there's the Mercury, Saturn, and Aries connection. Your specific interest has to do with the Byzantine Empire. Now,
Well,
there's a
not always, not always. Most of like my real interest is more like 1900 stuff and like old movies, old Hollywood and stuff like that. But then I would say anything before that is more about my genealogical research, probably because I'm more invested because I'm descended from them. So that would be more of the empire stuff that you're
okay.
picking up.
So that part, and also again that you're studying stuff mostly from the 1900s, right?
Yeah.
Old Hollywood. So again, we have Mercury, Saturn. But the other interesting part in this is the Leo rising. So now I hear being a descendant from a royal bloodline on both parents. You said they come from royalty, and the other
Yes,
part
both
is
parents.
both parents, and also this girl that you say you're descended from. I don't
Oh yeah,
remember her
Anna
name.
Komnene. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Anna Komnene. Thank you. Yeah, that she was the daughter of one of the emperors. Right. So there's again, now I
Mm-hmm.
start to feel the Leo rising, but more importantly, what I feel is the Venus in Cancer in the 12th house. For two reasons. One, you told me that you have family on your father's side that you never met.
No.
That's the 12th house. Never meeting someone. And in your
Mm.
case, it's Cancer, right? So it's family, and it's Venus. It's someone you care about. So here we
Oh
have maybe
wow.
sisters or grandmothers or aunts, right?
Yeah,
And
might
very
have siblings
importantly,
too. Yeah.
and have siblings. Very importantly, that they also live far away in Bermuda, which is an island, right? So again, the water sign symbolism.
Actually, one of my sisters lives in Massachusetts, but my other siblings live in Bermuda.
Okay, so do you see also Venus being people that are important to you, people that you care about in Cancer? It's family members. And where are they? They're in Cancer, Bermuda, far away in the 12th house.
Definitely. Wow.
Okay. The other part that you said, first of all, you have a big family, so I guess you don't really know all of them,
Yes,
right?
on both sides. Major family on both sides. Very big.
Okay. Plus, all of the genealogical research you're doing into people that were a part of your family, like, and you'll never ever meet them, obviously because they're dead. But you care
Yeah.
about
Oh
them and you're
yes. Yes.
interested in that. And for you, the information about them is tremendously valuable for you
Yes.
specifically, right?
Yes.
There's Venus, right? Valuing Cancer in the 12th house. Information about your
Wow.
ancestors. Okay. Right? And that all is because your Venus is also opposite your moon in Capricorn. So you're not going back just to like your mom and your dad and your grandmother, because I've never done genealogy for my family and I'm not that interested in, but you are, right? And you're going way back. So there's
Yep. I'm
Capricorn,
self-taught. Yep.
Cancer.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. Right? So this is very important for you also because it's the moon and Venus. So it must be a big
Definitely
part
it
of your
is.
life.
It
Okay.
is. It is. And I'm self-taught too, so that's interesting too.
Is this all making sense how we're doing this?
Absolutely, it is.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and now you might be reaching like very important junctures in your research just because of the position of Jupiter, right? So this tells me there's something magical happening for you in terms of your research.
Definitely. The only thing is I have suspicions of who, like, because I have certain theories of who I might be descended from. So I'm just trying to wait and see because it's kind of like a surprise party. You know how like there's a present and you don't want to jinx what the present is because if someone knows, then, they might try to like take it or ruin it or tell people. So you kind of like plan ahead of time, oh, I'm going to set money aside to get the present or whatever the case might be. So it's kind of like that, where it's like I have my certain theories on my dad's side who I might be descended from, but I don't have the actual like records yet until I'm not going to get them until the middle of April. I think like April 15th, 16th from Bermuda. So, because it takes 2 weeks to get here. So it's all a matter of just waiting and seeing the truth when it comes,
Okay, you can see that exactly when those documents are arriving in the middle of April. Jupiter is at 16 Cancer, exactly conjuncture Venus at 16 Cancer,
Wow.
when the documents from Bermuda are coming.
Hmm.
Right? So that makes good sense, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Okay, good. Okay, let's pause here for today. I don't see you, but I don't have to, so that's okay.
Oh no, I turned my camera off because of the sound issue earlier.
All right, okay. So,
There
what
we
did you
go.
think about that?
You were spot on. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay, great.
Definitely.
Um, so I'm going to stop the recording now, and you and I are going to talk for just a few more minutes, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, great. To everyone watching, um, nice to have you here, and we'll see you on the next episode of Planets and People. So me and Donald are signing out. Okay.